It is a national disgrace that members of the Defence Forces are forced to work a 24-hour duty for just approximately 20 euros extra. This is slave labour. It is a national disgrace that members of the Defence Forces have been forced to take Lariam and have not been treated medically for the after effects. This is something that a lot are afraid to speak about for fear of losing their jobs. The healthcare within the Defence Forces is very poor and needs to be fixed. It is a national disgrace that health and safety does not exist within the Defence Forces. What with the chemical scandal in the Air Corps, the Lariam issue, the terrible conditions that soldiers have to work and live in, where prisoners are treated better. In another area we were informed where the water is so dirty that they have to use plastic knives and forks because the dishes cannot be cleaned with this water, yet they are forced to shower using it. There are many more incidents that are very much below the standard of general health and safety. WPDF is not just about wives and partners anymore. We are wives, partners, husbands, family members, friends and retired members of the Defence Forces. The government seem to forget that members of the Defence Forces are Irish citizens first. The Defence Forces is not one bit family friendly, and if our loved ones suffer, then we in turn suffer too. That is why we are here today. We have had enough of our loved ones being treated like second-class citizens. They deserve to be treated properly. They deserve to not have to live in poverty. They deserve to have proper health care. They deserve to have their voices heard. I am so proud of everyone that took the time to come here today, as we are all part of the military family. So let's stand together and be one united voice and show the government that we will not stop and we will not go away. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lorraine. And now we have the fantastic Sarah Walsh, wife of a soldier and who has worked tirelessly to get today's protest organised. Sarah.
Well done, Sarah.
Ma, I need €25 for my school trip. Ma, what's for dinner? Ma, can I get an ice cream? Ma, my shoes are too tight. Ma, my tummy hurts. Ma, I'm starving. These sentences are like a death sentence to some parents. Tuesday at 4 p.m, children are eating breakfast cereal for dinner with milk borrowed from a neighbour. A shameful hidden secret. Wednesday, 2 a.m, Sandra stands in Tesco's, desperately waiting on her wages to go into the bank. The baby only has 2 nappies left, and there's no food for the children's breakfast or lunches. A shameful, hidden secret. Easter Sunday, the local charity gives Easter eggs and food for dinner, so children can have a nice Easter. A shameful, hidden secret. Vincent de Paul covering the cost of fuel to keep the children warm in winter. A shameful, hidden secret. Pieta House helping Mam because children need their parents alive. A shameful, hidden secret. Daddy runs at lunchtime so others don't know he has no lunch or money for rations. A shameful, hidden secret. These shameful hidden secrets are happening to children throughout the Defence Forces. Some have gone without, some are hungry, and yet their mother and father wear a state uniform on their back and works damn hard in circumstances that no civilian would ever have to endure. Our Defence Forces are this nation's insurance policy. You can't drive your car without insurance. You can't borrow money without insurance. And this is exactly the reason why we have a Defence Force. We need to defend our position of neutrality. When Ireland looks to other nations to borrow money, we have to have security and the ability to defend ourselves. This is fact. So if our forces are not stable, functional and up to NATO standards, Ireland loses its insurance. So here's ERA's shameful hidden secret. This government has put the men and women of our nation's insurance policy on the breadline. They cannot provide for their children. They're forced to claim social welfare. They're forced to turn to charities to provide food, shelter and heat for their children. These are basic human rights. They forbid their Defence Force members to speak out about their appalling pay and conditions. They don't want anyone to know about their shameful hidden secret. Well, I have news for you, Minister for Defence. I will not be forbidden to talk about your shameful hidden secret. I will not sit back and let you and your government bring my country to its knees. Sorry. And jeopardise our insurance policy for stability and my children's future. I will not be voting for you or your government, and I can tell everyone here to follow suit. How dare you take the food from our children's mouths? How dare you treat our partners and family members with no respect, with your insulting, appalling pay. The only, and I repeat, the only solution here is better pay. Give them back what was taken from them to start with. We demand better pay. But I also understand you can't sort this out while you're off for the whole summer. I understand that you can't micromanage the Defence Forces, and that's why you have appointed officers to do this for you. So, I call on every officer who has the responsibility and the duty of care for their members to stand up, take action and ensure that the men and women of the lower ranks who are parents have access to what was once called married rations for their children, to give the children who don't have free GP care and medical card access to your medical officers, those who struggle to put petrol in their cars and ring in sick because they chose to feed their children, or they had to drive long distances to work because somebody closed their barracks. Give them access to the petrol you buy in bulk at cost. I'm begging you as a human being to look at your men and women and remember that some are going without themselves so their children can have food. Ring fence those who need it most. Give them the access and go to sleep knowing that you have done everything within your power for your troops' welfare. But I must insist, this is not a resolution. This is only a stopgap until the pay improves. Parents are distraught and feel let down. I will be writing to the CEO of the Personnel Support Services, and I will request assistance in setting up a network of peer support groups for families in every barracks and base. No parent should have to go it alone. Let's share our journey. Let's lean on each other for support. Not everyone understands the way of military life, and the real heroes in my book are those in the silent ranks who stand here today, who hold it all together in the absence of their loved ones in the Defence Forces. To every serving member of the Defence Forces, I salute you for your service. I applaud you and admire you for surviving the pay and conditions this government imposes on you. I respect you. These are not just words, however. I am a member of the WPDF and we will never give up. WPDF will fight the battles along the way, but we're here to see out this war. So to my fellow WPDF members, I leave you with a quote from the very first woman ever voted to Parliament, Constance Markovich. Dress suitably in short skirts and sitting boots, leave your jewels and gold wands in the bank, and buy yourself a revolver. We will fight this war.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And now we will ask Mr. Anthony Moore, retired serviceman and Lariam activist, to say a few words.
My name is Anthony Moore. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today, but most of all the women of the WPDF for putting the organisation together to fight for something our own organisation should be doing, and associations. The problem within the Defence Forces is, as non-commissioned ranks, we stand alone. We fear what everyone else thinks of us when we stand up to speak out for the truth. I was on my own for a long time till we start putting the truth out of what governments was covering up of the drug Lariam, the side effects. We have 14 suicides, not one of them to this day was reported by the Defence Forces to the Irish Medicine Board. There is so many individuals here fighting because they feel in their heart we're being hard done by. Not too long ago we seen Richard Dick Dillon write to the Minister and then a 15-minute phone call. Next Sergeant Major just shows you the hurt he feels inside. But if we keep fighting as individuals, we're going to go nowhere. So as associations and organisations, we need to pull together and we need to get the feet on the ground to show the government, to show the officer corps, we are not on our own. We're willing to stand up and put them down for what they're doing on us. If we don't stand up, we'll just be destroyed. Your children, your grandchildren will come into the Defence Forces, something you all love, and they will be in a hole because you've never left the place in good hands. So I'd ask you all, especially associations, to go back to your groups on the next meeting that the women calls, that you still come out and support them in associations, not just as individuals. We need to show that we're strong and bigger. Lariam, people think you have to have a plaster paris on your arm to say you have a broken arm. Well, you can't wear that around your head to hide the inflict of the pain of Lariam to the brain. It has caused many a breakup, has done many a bad thing to many a soldier, and it has taken many of our comrades. Don't sit around talking about them. Get up and do something for them. Make sure they're counted and not forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anthony. And finally, we ask Shelley Cotter, who describes herself as a proud naval wife and mother. She's a committed campaigner and she is the WPDF PRO.
Today I am standing here not just as WPDF spokesperson, but as a naval wife and a naval mother. I am standing here today as a heartbroken wife who has watched her hard-working husband spend 27 years in his job, and he has watched his wage decrease to the point he now earns less than when he had served just 15 years. I'm standing here as a mother who worries what sort of life and future her son has in a job that the government have zero respect for. I'm standing here as a mother who has had to cut corners to the point that there was absolutely nothing left to cut, who has learned to cry in private over the heartache of having to constantly say no to her children, even for the smallest of things, because we just didn't afford them. I am someone who has had to watch her husband's peers have to turn to social welfare to support their families, and even though they've devoted their lives and careers to Defence Forces, this is demoralising and it is heartbreaking. I am standing here today as a person who reached breaking point while both her husband and her son served together in the Mediterranean in 2015. And I started campaigning to highlight conditions our men and women have to silently endure. Contacted never to ever speak about it. I'm standing here today so very grateful that Judith and Lorraine had the courage to start WPDF. And I'm so grateful I found them when I did. We share the same outlook, we share the same goals, and we truly believe that knowledge is power. So as the general public are now learning exactly what is happening in our Defence Forces, we truly believe that the time is now for a change. So finally, I am standing here today in awe and in gratitude for every single person who is standing in front of me now and who walked alongside me here. You are sending out a clear message. You are sending out that clear message that you support our forces, that you will not tolerate the horrific conditions under which our family members are expected to serve their country under, and that you personally want to be a part of that change. And this change has to happen. I am looking out at men and women representing barracks and bases from 4 corners of the country, and you are all standing in unity. You are all providing a voice for our serving men and women. This is a loud and it is a clear voice, and you are saying no more proud hidden secrets. This ends now. Thank you.
So now I would like to invite Senator Cockwell just to say a few words.
Colleagues, I didn't come here to speak. Politicians have no right to speak here because we preside over a situation that has you people living in the circumstances they're living in. I read the post the other day on Facebook and it was heartbreaking. I saw the possibility of a mother taking her own life because she felt she couldn't live watching her children eating porridge and the likes. I promise you only one thing, because telling you we'll produce legislation, they'll kill legislation. They're not going to leave legislation go through. So I promise you one thing, only one thing. Once a week, I will bring up the conditions in the Defence Forces, and I will take one story every week and I will place it on the record of the Shannon, and I will keep doing that until such a time as our troops are held in the conditions they should be. I'm honoured to be here with these women, so thank you. I have enough said.
So all that's left for me is to thank each and every one of you for coming here today. Our future plans for WPDF will be released in the next few weeks. However, it is our fervent desire to march at the Dáil, just like our predecessors NASA, and we would hope that you would all come out and support us there. However, I need to mention a few people and acknowledge their wonderful input today. So special thanks to our wonderful speakers, very heartfelt speeches. I'd like to thank Anthony Moore, who has been a great support to WPDF from the outset. To Sarah Walsh for everything that she has done for today. She's been amazing. To the guards, the marshals, the paramedics, to our fantastic Piper, thank you.
Well done.
These women behind me, they have been just amazing. There are no words to describe these women behind me. They're physically behind me. We stick together. We're all together. We've one united voice. I need to mention them by name because they are amazing. Amy Walsh, Emily Hackett, Jennifer Ainsworth, Laura Clifford, Sarah Walsh, Sharon Conlon, Emma McGee and Sharon Dunn, and of course Lorraine and Shelley. We also have leading men who have helped us again from the very start. You know who you are. Sorry, I can't find my list of men, but you know who you are. You know who you are. To anyone in need, and to anyone who has listened to our stories today, please don't feel you are alone. We helped Sandra last week. We know there are many Sandras out there. Please get in touch with us. We can help you. We can advise you. We can put you on the right road. Do not be alone. This is no longer a proud, hidden secret. Now, I would like to call on Lorraine O'Hare and one of our stalwarts, Bernard Maguire Sr., to deliver the petition to the Department of Defence.